This is Hannah again. So today I wanted to talk about my infertility journey, and I want to go with part one. So part one happened about 7 years ago when I was 19 years old. I was fresh out of high school. I got off the depot shot because I didn't want to be on it anymore. It was making me gain weight and all this stuff. But I had been off of it for a year, and I still hadn't gotten my period back. So, you're a brand new adult. You have to find your own doctors and all this stuff. And you tell them, they're like, oh, it could take a while for the depot to come off. Well, then I started getting these huge pains. And then I ended up in the ER, and they did an ultrasound, and my ovaries are just covered in cysts. I think at one point I had 42 on my right one that were roughly the size of a centimeter. And if you know anything about ovaries, they are supposed to be the size of a walnut. Well, mine never are. Mine are like the size of grapefruits, always. And when I get really bad cysts, they just get giant. So when I was 19, I had to go to a free clinic because I was broke. I was, barely an adult, could only do so much. And they had to run some blood work. Well, to diagnose with PCOS, they run the LH levels. They do a transvaginal ultrasound to take a look at your ovaries, and then they do a full comprehensive medical exam. So in that medical exam and the medical history, they talk about anybody in your family that has struggled. They talk about when you started your period as a teenager. They talk about if your family struggled having kids, if, any immediate family has been diagnosed with this. And the thing is, no one in my family does. No one. My sister has 2 boys, perfectly fine. My mom, everyone had kids perfectly fine. It was just me. Which was, pretty hard to grasp. But after the transvaginal ultrasound, it was, definite. I have textbook PCOS. Which, at the time, I was okay with it because I'm like, oh, I don't have to worry about it till later. It'll be okay. And then I found my husband when I was 21, and we got married when I was 22, almost 23. And he knew right off the bat that it was going to be hard. I mean, I was open about it. It's like, hey man, this doesn't come naturally to me. We're probably gonna have to work at it. And then, so yeah, we got married. We tried and we tried and we tried and we tried and we tried. I tried lots of medications. I tried Clomid. I ended up having emergency surgery after Clomid because my ovary tried to explode. I tried Femera, and then the same thing happened to both of my ovaries, and that was in July of 2015. I was admitted into a big city hospital for the weekend, trying to avoid surgery, because if I was going to have surgery, I was going to lose both my ovaries. And that would be the end of my battle to have kids. My reproductive endocrinologist admitted me there. I spent 3 weeks on high doses of, Percocet and Percocet and Loratab and Dilaudid and all this other crap just to see if my body would absorb it on its own, and thankfully it did. So when you're questioning if something is right, so the first indicator is obviously, do I have a period? Am I missing my period? What's going on with my period? Hang on one second, my son is crying.